Mike Woodson fired on Monday as head coach. And so as you look at those Coors Light cold hard facts on the Knicks, let's talk about how would you
I like Carmelo's option.
How would you fix them, Chuckster, and what do you think is going to happen in New York?
Well, I think two things. If I was the general manager, I had to figure out something like this. We can give Carmelo the most money. We have to make a decision that we want to make him the cornerstone. If we make him the cornerstone, we're going to give him a big deal. But we're going to be patient for another couple of years till we get all that other junk off our cap. So you got to make a decision whether you want to build around Carmelo, and you got to be.
Would you want to build around Carmelo?
I think Carmelo's a terrific player, but the key is he got to be patient for another year because they can't get rid of some of those contracts they got. I mean, he got to ride that out. Well, but hold on, so your other option is, and I want to be clear, I think Carmelo's a terrific player. But like I say, you're not going to be able to get rid of those other players for another year or two. So then you got to hope you can get another free agent. My option with Carmelo is, okay, Carmelo, you're a great player. We can give you the most money. Can we work out a sign and trade where we can start building for the future with some younger players and some draft picks? And then when those contracts are gone in another year, we can start building this team. The key is that you want to be patient. That's the way I would do it. I'd say, because we can give them the most money, but we could do a sign and trade.
Which one would you do? You gave us two scenarios.
Wow, that's a great question, Kenny. I don't think you're going to get a player better than Carmelo. This notion that people are going to be clamoring to come to New York, I don't believe that. Because guys aren't going to be leaving $20 and $30 million on the table to say, just so I can go to New York and be Bill. Because it ain't that many stars to go around, Ernie, to be honest with you.
Well, tell me about Phil Jackson in this role now. And how patient is he, and how do you see him attacking this and trying to fill voids where you need talent and you really don't have the resources to acquire any right now?
He's a very patient man. You know, when he was a coach, you know, he always had that general manager presence. You know, he always had the ability to go upstairs and say, "Give me a B. Shaw, get me a Robert Horry." You know, he always had the power and the knack to make the little moves. My question is, can he do it with a coach that runs a regular system? Because all he knows is the triangle. So is he going to bring in a coach that's going to run the triangle, or can he live with another coach that's going to run floppy and run, you know, traditional stuff that we've been seeing for the last 50 years? I'm really, really anxious to see.
I've certainly heard Steve Kerr's name out there, our TNT colleague.
You're not going to do something that you're unfamiliar with. I can't imagine that he's not going to bring in a coach that's been in his system, part of his system, or knows his system. Because then he knows what he's looking for. So I think to be a great general manager, you have to know what you're looking for. You have to understand what talent you're looking for in your system. So if he knows that's his system, then all of a sudden he says, well, this guy fits. Where there's a lot of teams that they just cherry pick players and think that they can play well, but then they're not in a system that is there. So, yes, Steve Kerr's name been thrown out. Anyone of that magnitude who knows the triangle will be that coach. And then he will draft, he will trade, and he will cut players based on that because he knows they can fit.
Hey, Jeremy, we got the radio from Steve Kerr's radio show on Sirius XM, and you know, he knew he had to talk about it a little bit today, so didn't say much about it, but did say this about the possibilities.
I do anticipate talking with Phil Jackson at some point. But, you know, when that time comes, it'll come. But for now, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. This is the NBA. You know, coaches basically know when they go in that they're likely to be fired. It's a brutal business. It's a brutal profession.
And so we
you want me to read between the lines?
Yeah. You're going to read between the lines on that?
I mean, the guy is going to be the top candidate. Now, does he get the job? No, but he's the top candidate. He's already been mentioned with him, linked with him when the team was in Seattle, possibly.
If he wants the job, he'll get it.
He's gonna, he's gonna be a top candidate. He knows his system. You know, he's gonna give him it's first-time coach, first-time opportunity. He knows his system, and it's all about familiarity. I'm not gonna I wouldn't. No one's going to be around things that they're not familiar with, and at least he has an understanding that what he will try to do.